Franco, how do you sum up the emotions after that?
Yeah, well, shed the tears in the change room, to be honest. I'm not going to shed many here, hopefully. Yeah, we obviously, I think the first 20 minutes we just had no luck. We turned the ball over too many times and we made 70 tackles in the first quarter of the game, which is way too many, and ended up going into the shed half-time 25-5 down, which means that you chase against a world-class team. You chase a scoreline, and they were very good tonight. I was never in doubt. I know there was the press that asked a lot of questions around their mentality or previous performances going into this last part, but I never had doubt. There's too many classy players. I sat here a month ago talking about the quarterfinal, and it's still a world-class team. Nothing's changed. So if we were going to lose tonight, if we were going to lose the URC Championship title, it was going to be rather against them than anybody else. So that's it. We're a proud team. I thought we gave it everything. I see this as holistically, not just in tonight's game. We defended our title bravely and that title. But tonight we fell short.
Was it just a step too far with all the injuries and guys unavailable?
Look, I don't want to make excuses because I definitely felt the team that we fielded tonight could have won the game. So yes, it would have been good to have some of those boys back, but I backed the team that we've picked. I backed the depth and the growth of the club, more players becoming eligible for Scotland, putting their hands up to play at this level this whole season. Numerous people grown. That is the progression. Yes, I think there's 6 or 7 boys that last year played in the final that wasn't available to play this year. That's true, but I'm more proud of the evolution and the growth. So there is a positive to be taken from this.
Is there any way you see of the gap being closed with Leinster? It just seems so powerful again today.
Look, they're 8 years ahead of everybody else. They've started this process way back when I think I was still coaching Benetton. They were already 2013, and they were already on top of their game, and with Joe Smith bringing in certain structures and certain expectations. They've got an unbelievable feeding source here from the schools that's here, a huge academy. Their budget is different than ours, and I'm not complaining here. That's not what I'm saying. So, but that is facts. So yes, they are way years ahead of the rest of the URC team. So I think I would have thought in the last 3 years we did well to starting to close the gap. If we look where we started, what's still needed? We're gonna try and sort that out in the pre-season, and we're gonna take the lessons learned from tonight. But again, it's a class outfit. They've got a big squad that they can rotate often, and their international stay fresh. So they've got some important ingredients to step up in important games.
Because the sort of manner of the defeat, the kind of hardest part to take. You didn't really get into the game at all.
Yeah. No, look, I don't think we didn't. Yeah, I agree. We didn't get in the game, but they didn't allow us to get in the game. I think we kicked the ball short, they win it, they keep it, get a penalty, they convert it, and that was the trend in the first part. So I think I agree. They didn't allow us to put our stamp on the game at all, and that is where maybe we felt short.
Kyle, can I ask you, there's a lot of big players leaving the club now in their final game. What's the mood like in the dressing room? Must be tough.
Yeah, it is tough. Look, I think Franco, speaks about this 3-year journey, and that's the most important part. I think that's where a lot of this hurt comes. Some of those guys have been there longer than that 3-4 years, and I just think every year that this group kind of stacks together, it gets harder and harder. You get to know these guys, you get to know their families. There's some people there that have just given an unbelievable amount for our club and to be a part of our group, and You just wish that you could find a way to hang on to some of those guys, and I would have been absolutely desperate to earn another week to go again with those guys and their families. But I think we're just thankful for the time that we have had, and the way they have contributed, and the way their families have given and supported, and just wish them all the best.